Rain drummed gently on the roof of Blackwood Manor. The wind whispered through the trees like an omen. Something was waiting inside, something cold and silent and deadly. It was a Thursday evening when Detective Eleanor Gray received the call, the kind of call that changed everything. Detective Gray, we have a situation. One dead, Blackwood Manor, no visible wound. Eleanor was already on her feet. Raincoat, badge, notebook, something about Blackwood Manor always made her uneasy. A house with too much history and far too many secrets. Blackwood Manor stood alone at the edge of the wood, vast and crumbling like an ancient stone lion. The iron gate creaked open, groaning under years of neglect. Inside, the air was thick with dust, old wood, and something else, the faint scent of almond. Richard Blackwood, the last heir to the Blackwood fortune, was found slumped in a red leather armchair in the reading room. A shattered teacup lay at his feet. The fireplace crackled with dying embers. There were no wounds, no struggle, just silence and that unmistakable smell. "Cyanide," Eleanor whispered, "in the tea." 4 people were in the house that evening. Margaret, the loyal housekeeper, in her 60s, who had served the Blackwoods for over 30 years. She'd recently been removed from Richard as well. Julian, Richard's estranged cousin, just returned from abroad. He would now inherit everything. Dr. Latham, the charming, well-kept family physician, trusted, respected, and quiet, too quiet. And Clara Hill, a young journalist writing Richard's biography, fierce, smart, determined to expose the family's dark history. Each of them had motive. Each of them had opportunity. Eleanor gathered them all in the drawing room. Her eyes moved from one face to another. Richard was poisoned. The teacup is the key, and someone here switched it. The room fell into heavy silence. Then Eleanor turned toward the fireplace and pointed at the large decorative mirror. "What none of you know is that mirror isn't just for vanity. It holds a hidden security camera." Gasps echoed through the room. She pulled out her phone and played the footage. There in grainy black and white, they saw it. Richard alone, pouring his tea, then Clara enters, calm and composed. She looks at both cups, picks them up, and switches them. Richard takes a sip minutes later and dies. Clara's face turned pale. "He destroyed my father," she said in shocked voice. "Richard drove him to suicide. I didn't want to kill him. I just wanted him to confess." But Eleanor's expression was cold and sharp. "You gave him the poisoned cup. That is a murder." Clara was arrested. The case seemed closed. 2 days later, back in her office, Eleanor stared at the closed case file. Something didn't sit right. Clara was smart, sharp, calculated. Why would she commit murder on camera? Did she not notice the mirror? Or was she set up? Eleanor reopened the file and drove back to Blackwood Manor. The reading room was cold and empty now. The fireplace dead. She walked slowly, letting her eyes scan every detail again. Then something caught her attention. One book on the shelf, cleaner than the rest. She pulled it. Click. A section of the bookshelf swung open. A hidden passage. Eleanor stepped into the darkness. The passage led to a secret surveillance room. Old monitors, dusty tapes, a stale smell of tobacco and mold. Someone had been watching for years. On the shelves, tapes were labeled. Julian, confrontation. Margaret, pills. Clara, sit up. Eleanor's fingers trembled as she inserted the Clara tape. The footage showed Clara in the kitchen preparing tea alone. Then Dr. Latham entered, distracted her with small talk. While her back was turned, he carefully slipped something into one of the cups. Then he left, silent as a ghost. Clara returned later to their reading room, thinking she was being clever, switched the cups. She didn't poison Richard. She was being framed. Eleanor confronted Dr. Latham at his clinic the next morning. He smiled. I always knew there was something off about her. Eleanor placed a tape recorder on his desk. Funny things about mirrors, she said. They show more than reflections. They reveal truth. She played the tape. Dr. Latham's face collapsed. He was going to expose me, he muttered. Fruit, stolen prescriptions, illegal sales. He was going to end my career. Clara just gave me the perfect opportunity. So you used her, let her take the fall. I had no choice. You made your choice, Eleanor replied. She arrested him without another word. Clara was released. The truth came out. Richard Blackwood had spent years controlling everyone around him through blackmail, money, and fear. The hidden passage, the camera, the tapes, all of it proved one thing. Blackwood Manor wasn't just a house. It was a prison of secrets. Eleanor stood in the reading room one last time. The mirror still hung there, cold and silent. People lie, she whispered, but the walls never forget. She turned and walked out into the rain, leaving the house to its ghost.